All right, what's up everyone? Dave here again, and today I'm going to show how to bring stuff from Quixel MegaScans into Unreal to create environments that are extremely realistic, totally optimized for games, whatever you want, okay? And what I'm talking about is if you go to Quixel.com, and then if I go to products, I go to MegaScans, I'll go to Browse MegaScans, and this is a website that kind of shows you different things. And you can see that they have it categorized under 3D assets. I can see different rocks and environment stones, different things, and different props, all of this stuff. Okay, here's some firewood, whatever you want. Well, that's all good, but how is this used in Unreal? Well, let's take a look. So I'm going to first go to Epic Games. I'm going to launch the Epic Games launcher, and then if I have Unreal installed, okay, and I can go to the Unreal Engine right here and then make sure that I install a version. And for this I'm going to use Unreal 4.26.2. I feel like as long as you're not using Unreal 5, what I'm about to show is going to be relevant. If you're using Unreal 5, it actually kind of has this built into it, at least the menu to get to Bridge. So, so again, I'm using 4.26, but if you're using 4 point anything, this should work. I'll go ahead and pause it, let this launch. Okay, so it launched. I'm just going to go New Project Games, hit Next, and I'm going to choose third person. Okay, you could choose kind of any of these templates, but I'm just going to choose third person and click Next. Now this is kind of important here. This is where it's going to be saving to. Okay, so I can see that it's my C drive, users, Dave, documents, Unreal project, and maybe I'm going to call this MegaScans. I could call this anything I want, or I could just leave it at the default name, and I'm going to go ahead and hit create project. Okay, now what I like to do is actually find that directory, and I created a shortcut. So if I click on this, I can see that this is actually it, and I can see that here's all my other projects that I've been working on, and that's the new one called MegaScans. Okay, now I can see here I went to desktop, C users, Dave, Unreal project. So if I go to C, this is my C drive, and then if I go to users, Dave, and then I think it's documents, Unreal projects, and then I can see there they are. And what I did is I just went back here and I held down Alt and I dragged that to the desktop, and what that did, it created a shortcut, and that's what we're seeing right here. So you don't necessarily need that, but I want to show kind of what's happening behind the scenes when we're doing this. So okay, great, I'm in my level here, and I can see that this is kind of the editable area for Unreal, and if I hold down the right mouse button I can move around like this. If I hold down the left I can move like that, or if I hold down both I can move like this. And if I go to content down here in the content browser, if I go to content, I can see that this is the content that's in here right now. Notice there's nothing called MegaScans, so I feel like what I'm about to do is going to automatically produce a folder called MegaScans, and then any rocks or anything that we put in there is going to automatically be put into that folder. So going back to this idea, if I was on the website, okay, if I'm on the website, I could log in, I could download something, and then I could save it onto my computer, then I can manually put it in. Or I can actually go to something called the Bridge. So again, I'm going to go like this. If I go to Quixel.com, and if I go back here, let me see. So I'm just going to go here, go to Quixel.com, and then on products, instead of going to MegaScans, I'm going to go to Bridge. And now I'm going to click on download Bridge, and what Bridge does is it kind of bridges it from the MegaScan world to Unreal, or whatever program you want to do. So I'm going to show how to go from the MegaScans into Unreal. So I've downloaded Bridge, and then once you download Bridge, it's going to look like this. it's going to look like this, which is weird. It looks exactly like the MegaScans website, but it's kind of running off an application instead of a website now. And now this understands Unreal. Okay, so what you're going to have to do first of all is you're going to have to log in. And so if you don't have an account, you can sign up for free. And what I recommend is, and this is kind of weird, if you download or if you sign up through Quixel, you're going to have to pay for what I'm about to show using points, and you can buy points. But if you sign up through Epic Games, and it gives you a choice, you can sign up however you want. But if you sign up through Epic Games, everything is free. So I recommend signing up through Epic Games. But to do that, you're going to need an Epic Games account. But if you're using Unreal, you would have to have an Epic Games account, which is, again, free. So now it's kind of all linked and it's all the same. Okay, cool. So now that we're into Bridge, I can go over here and I can go to 3D Assets, and I can look at, kind of anything that I want. Here's some rocks, whatever. And let's say if I wanted something, maybe I want this rock, okay? I can click on this icon to hit download. And actually, I should kind of mention this. If I click on this rock, okay, it's going to have kind of the download settings. And if I go here, I'm going to say, let's go to download settings and see what it says. This is everything that it's downloading, which is going to be all its textures and the model. And I can see all of the level of details. I can see that the high-end level of detail is 150,000, or no, 15,000 triangles. And the lowest level of detail, as far as what's shown here, is less than 500 polygons or triangles. And I'm going to show you what that means once we bring it into the scene. But basically, what it is, if it's close up, it's going to have a lot of detail. And then as the camera gets farther away from it, it's going to optimize and swap out to a lower resolution. And if I hit back again, if I also go down here, export settings, I'm going to tell it what the export target is. Okay, so I'm going to choose the Unreal Engine. And since I'm using 4.26, I'm going to make sure that I select that here. And I'm also going to have to install a plugin. Okay, and I'm going to have to tell it where that plugin is. And I can see that C program file, Epic Games, UE underscore 4.26. And then I can see that it's installed. Okay, great. Once I have all that set up, and by the way, all of this is only available if you're in Bridge. If you're on the website, it's not going to have any of this because it doesn't care where you're exporting it to. It's going to just download to your computer, and then you have to manually place it. But in Bridge, since we can go to other applications, if I wanted to send it to Maya, I would select that here. And again, that's why it's called Bridge, is because it's kind of bridging the gap between the Quixel website and Unreal. Now again, if you're in Unreal 5, you can just open the Bridge. You can open up Quixel Bridge in Unreal 5, and you don't even have to select this because it assumes that you want to go to just Unreal 5. Okay, but this is kind of nice because we can go to different applications if we want to. So now that I chose this, and I see that my export settings are set up correctly and my plugin is set up correctly, I can simply hit the green arrow to download. And when I do that, I can see that it's downloading and it says it's purchased. Okay, again, it was free. But I can see that it's downloading right here. So obviously some files are going to take longer to download. This one looks like it's going pretty quick. And the key is in Unreal to make sure that you have Unreal open and that you have your level that you want it imported into already created. Okay? Because it's going to export to that. Now that I have it downloaded, it's physically stored on my computer, and then I can just hit export right here. And when I click on that, it's exporting to the Unreal Engine. So, and where specifically? Well, it's going specifically to the MegaScans. I can see that that's the one that I have open. And if I come back here, what we're going to see is it's automatically going to put it in here. And if I go back to my content, I can see that, aha, there's a folder called MegaScans. And if I open that up, there's one called 3D Assets. And in there is the one that we chose. So now if I drag this into the scene, aha, there's that rock. Okay, now let me just show you real quick here. Remember this? So these are where all my projects were, and this is this specific project. If I open that up, if I go into content, aha, there's MegaScans, and you can see that it automatically copied it here and put everything it needed to in here. So again, if you downloaded it manually just from the website, you would have to know, to go into your content folder of the project and do all that, where this is just kind of saving a step and it's automatically saving it in the correct place. So now that I'm in here, look at how nice this is. All the textures are already there. It's super high-end detail, looks really nice. And if I wanted to duplicate it, I could just hold down Alt, and you can see that it makes a duplication. A lot of this stuff is meant to be duplicated. And I can kind of like rotate it. I can just press the space bar to toggle between move, scale, and rotate. But what I wanted to show was the level of detail, and that'll be the end of this. So if I go like this, if I go to lit right here, and if I go to level of detail, and if I say mesh LOD colorization, what this is it's showing that when I'm close to it, when it's gray, that's its highest level of detail possible. And as I get the camera farther and farther away, I can see that it starts to swap colors. So what it did is it swapped to something that's less complex than what it was closer. And if I go even farther away, I can see that it's at its simpler form. And if I go really far away, oh, okay, let's see. I might have to go really far away here. And eventually it'll swap to a different color. Okay. And maybe that's as far as it's going to go. Maybe, I don't know if I can go far enough away. But you get the idea that now as I come closer, it's going to give me more resolution only when I need it. Okay, boom, it's giving me more resolution. Now it's giving me the highest resolution. And if I look at what that looks like normally, we shouldn't even be able to tell that it's swapping out, okay, to less and less detail. It should be basically a seamless thing. So for example, let's say if there was a little, you can see this mossy patch here, that if I look real close, it's great to see all that detail. But if I'm way back here, there's no way I'm going to be able to see that mossy patch, so why have that kind of like level of detail? And so what it's doing is it's optimizing for the entire game. So that means that we can have a lot of this stuff in there, but it's only going to give resolution to what's closest. And that's what's cool about the MegaScans, is that they all come preloaded with this level of detail. We don't have to do anything. It happens automatically. So now if I wanted another asset, I could just go back to Bridge, and I could pick my asset. I hit download. Once it's downloaded, I would just hit export, and then boom, it would automatically be in the right spot. I could drop it in my scene. I could duplicate it if I want to, and all the level of detail, textures, and everything are there. So hopefully that was helpful. Share this with anybody that you might think could use this information, and also like and subscribe for more videos like this.